Hi, my name is Tanya and welcome to my garden. It is springtime in central Victoria and I'm about to walk around my garden. It is just on 7 in the morning. I have my coffee and let's have a walk around and just see what is going on in the garden. We have a couple of really hot days coming and I'm making sure everything is watered, but the garden is going crazy with growth. We have so many alpine strawberries. My other strawberries have just finished. Now the alpine strawberries are taking over. My apple trees have so much fruit on them. I've got 3 little apple trees and they are smothered. Some will drop off, others will get eaten by the possum, but we will get some. They are a Royal Gala apple, so they are early season, so we are really looking forward to having fresh apples picked off the tree soon. I planted these trees about 10 years ago. They are a dwarf variety. They always have abundant crop of apples on them compared to the tree size. So if you are in town, I'm on a 1/4 acre block and you are wanting an apple tree, don't be put off by a dwarf variety. They are very good fruiters. Just down here past the apples, I have a small herb patch. We've got the curry plant, lemon balm, so much lemon balm. I've got sage, it's the purple variety. And further along, more lemon balm and more sage. These just creep along the garden bed. I've got a rhubarb here, which is a giant rhubarb. I've got thyme here, and I love how they just spill over the front of this garden bed. The asparagus is slowing down. I'm only picking a couple of spears every day. It has been delicious for such a young patch. I have been so happy with it. It is everything that I had hoped for when I planted. Although it doesn't look like much now, it has been fantastic. My sweet peas are still blooming and the colors are just so beautiful. I have celery here. This is where I have my main patch of rhubarb, which needs picking by the looks of it. And we have peas that are going to seed and I just let them self-seed anywhere and everywhere here in the bed. These are the strawberry plants that I was talking about that have just finished. My daughter is in charge of the strawberries. She has been picking plenty of those. Here we are at the back of the herb patch. I've got some pineapple sage and some chives. I've got another big sage plant there and some chamomile and a dwarf lemon tree and some leeks and spring onions that I'm leaving to go to seed, and I just love seeing all these seeds and the flowers. They are what I think is beautiful. My compost bins, I've got a comfrey plant that I can just put pieces of into the compost or make a comfrey tea. Just put my coffee down, and this is a berry bosch pear. I have 2 along this fence. Unfortunately, our possum trims them back all the time. And we've got some flowers, a sage and a garcia. And I put in some dahlias in these pots along here for a bit of colour and some self-seeded rainbow chard, and the dahlias are just coming up to flower. I have another pear tree there in a raised bed. They are looking very healthy. I'm not sure if we will get any of the fruit though. And another pot of dahlias, and they are just starting to flower and looking so lovely. I've got an old copper here that has some basil. I put seeds in. It is sweet Italian basil, and this is just some pots near my back gate. And I put a cucumber this side in an old copper. Along here we have the raspberry bed. This is along the side of my shed and there is so many raspberries. It is amazing. We are out here picking these all day, every day. I have cooked some up and made a coulis and we are so enjoying them, but they will come and go like the strawberries and we will just enjoy them and preserve anything we have that is extra. So I'm keeping the water up to them and hopefully they will keep fruiting because there is so much unripe fruit there. All along here, these are the new canes for next year. They will be fruiting next year.
Do you want one? You could pick your own. Good boy. Here's another one. Good boy. Come on.
Okay, just let me come back here and grab my cuppa and we will continue on with these new garden beds that I have put in only a month ago and things are exploding out of the ground. I cannot believe the growth on the things that I have planted. These rainbow chard were in the ground in my previous veg garden and I have just dug them up and settled them in a temporary position and move them into the garden bed. These are the purple climbing beans that I have planted. This was the first lot I put in. They're going to grow up over the arch. This is a salvia. It'll bring in the bees. And the first lot of tomatoes are I think these are Tasmanian chocolate. They have flowers on them. I, bought a punnet of beetroot. It was marked down. I thought I could save it. We'll see how it goes. We have a sweet mix of capsicum. They have flowers on them. Peas coming up everywhere from the pea straw, but I do not mind that. It doesn't take much to pull it out and it keeps the soil protected. These capsicums are the sweet mix. I have planted rows of beetroot in between all the capsicums and the eggplant and the tomatoes. These are the long yellow capsicum and the same. They have flowers on them. So with the warmer weather, these things are really getting going. Now these are eggplant. It is a heritage variety, a Diggers Club, and it is the purple and white stripe eggplant. And all are growing, doubling in size. It is fantastic and have flowers on them. Here's another row of beetroot. They are a multi-colour and variety, and we're back to the rainbow chard. There is heaps here and I've found some more that had seeded, so I'm going to put that somewhere. Now I've just finished off this little bit of path. This is the other garden bed. We have tomatoes on here, so we will have tomatoes for Christmas or before Christmas if the weather continues to be warm. I think it is the raised beds that the soil is warm and really pushing these tomatoes ahead. So many flowers. Now I've got two varieties here. This is Jeune Flame or June Flame. There's an orange and a black Russian on this side. I am trying to keep the lower parts all trimmed up so there's good air ventilation because there isn't much room in between. Now these are the Samaranzo, and I've got 2 in little growing frames, and the other 2 are going to go up over that arch, I hope. And interplanted in here I have some chilies here. I've got 3 chilies. They are a mild chili. And I have some snack size capsicums just here, which is mini sweet. And these are the black cherries. I have a full growing frame of these. We have a lot of fruit on there already, so many flowers, and I have been trying to keep them pruned as well. And I have another salvia at the end. I have salvias planted at the end of each bed. I only have 2 beds set up at the moment, but this creation, it has been a surprise. This is where I intend to put my second-hand glass house. And because I had got some markdown seedlings, there's one of the other garden beds. We're just throwing all the leftover things we pull out of the garden in there, and I've put straw all through here and this growing frame to put pumpkins on. Found a whole heap of markdown seedlings of pumpkins. They were the heirloom ones, so I thought I would take the chance. I didn't have to buy anything to create this. And it might bend under the weight of pumpkins, hopefully, if we get so many pumpkins, but it's a temporary solution, and I'm not putting up my glass house probably until winter, I'm hoping, after we get the other garden beds set up, the other 2 down the other end, and all this soil I can build up in the meantime. And I'm going to have garden beds inside the glass house. I'm going to grow early and late season vegetables in there just to extend our season. There's one of the heirloom. This is a rather large pumpkin, and I won't try and pronounce that. And then I have the heirloom variety of the butternut pumpkin in each spot, and I think I've got about 4 or 5 planted. Now this side I put in, because I had this growing frame, I then bought some rock melons and some watermelon seedlings. So we'll see how they go up over. It'll be a good experiment if nothing else. And really it has taken an hour for me to put up this little frame. We didn't have to buy anything, and it's just things we had here. And the straw I bought plenty of at the start of the season. These are dahlias that I've had in pots. They were in a larger pot at the front, and I thought I'd pot them up into separate pots and put them in here. These are cucumbers, the Digger's Heritage, and they are called Space Master or Space, something like that. And these are a multicolored Roma. All these I bought marked down. So when I decided to make the pumpkin arch, I thought I may as well fill it in with lots of other things. So I bought a whole heap of marked down things. And that was another cucumber, and I've just put parsley at the end. This is another area of the garden. These are the blueberries. I've got 3 different types, and I don't think they're going to stay here, but they're here at the moment. So come winter, I may be able to move them, because this isn't the ideal situation for them. Although they have got fruit on them, and there are strawberries planted here too. There's some rejigging I want to do in the garden. This is some seeds that I bought, and I intend to plant out. I need to make another growing frame for them. So just as like every gardener, the garden keeps growing. Thank you for coming on my garden tour, and a little catch up with what I am growing in Central Victoria in the middle of November. Thank you. See you in the next video. Bye for now.